What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to a very popular series of ESO that I've done in the past. So, this is called Can I Solo? We're on Season 3, and if you don't know what it is, it's where I go through dungeons and try to solo them. My first season was me doing it on my Stamina Sorcerer. My second one was my Magicka Sorcerer, and starting Season 3, we will be on our Stamina Dragon Knight. So, obviously, when I play solo, I run a little bit differently in terms of skills. So, hopefully, you guys can get an idea of what it's like. Obviously, you won't be seeing top-of-the-line DPS because it's just solo buffed and whatnot. But, it's more for the experience, people who are trying to learn dungeons and stuff. Obviously, doing it in a 4-man is ideal because it's faster. But, I feel like I know what I'm doing enough to start with these dungeons. Unfortunately, I can't just queue for all of them and let it pick for me because that puts me in a group with other people, so we're going to have to manually do it. So, this first video is going to be more of a test to see if you guys are going to enjoy the series, or if not, if you are, leave a like on the video. If you don't, definitely leave a dislike, and we'll see how the ratio is at the end or something, positive feedback and whatnot. So, with that said, let's get off to a good start. And I think the first 2 seasons I did City of Ash 1 from our first one. So let's start off the season with that again. I think City of Ash is in green shade, so start with this one. This is also known as one of the easiest dungeons. Pretty much anyone can solo it. Then we get progressively more difficult as you go on. But some dungeons, including the DLC ones, are actually impossible to solo if you aren't a sorcerer and don't have a pet. So some of them I physically won't be able to do, but for the most part, I think I can do a majority of them. In terms of skills, what we'll be using differently is obviously Vigor instead of Trap because we need self-healing, and that's our only self-healing, and mitigation would be Deadly Cloak. Potions, why do I have this? Potions, we will be running the standard weapon power and standard blue food. So nothing out of the ordinary. Before we start, I'll just show you a little screenshot of all my gear, champion points, and all that stuff, so you guys can take a quick screenshot like right now. And with that said, in about 3, 2, 1, we're just gonna get started. Just pause the video, take a screenshot, whatever you want, go back. And for the sake of this video, I'll try to kill everything. Like, I know there are a lot of skips in a lot of dungeons, but I'll try to kill everything just for the sake of completion. Like, I know I could just jump off this tree and then run right down the middle, but that's not as fun, right? And City of Ash, actually, there used to be a lot of heavy sacks just scattered around the area. I believe they fixed most of them where the spawn points are completely changed. So there used to be like one right here, one possibly over there. Occasionally one there's like behind a waterfall, but I don't think that's the case anymore. There is an advanced chest and we will be getting that. Technically I don't actually need anything. Oh my god, I can't lockpick today. What is wrong? Dude, I actually failed that one. Oh my goodness, what is wrong? That's embarrassing. Anyway, you could technically skip this pull right there just by going through the back. Also, Dragon Knights are known for like having a higher single target, so when it comes to burst and AoE, it's not as high. So it's a little bit more difficult under rotation compared to, let's say, if I were running on a sorcerer or pretty much any other class. Because I do have AoE, it's just not as good as other class AoEs. In terms of single target, it's pretty good. I think there's still something shooting me. Also, it's been a while since I've actually soloed dungeons, so you're gonna have to bear with me. I know what to do, it's just, it might take a little bit longer. So this would be the first boss. You could either, when you drop down from the tree, you can either go left or right. It's always been a habit when I run with groups, just going this way. It's usually a good idea to, if you are especially a new player running through dungeons, to kill all the ads before actually triggering the boss at the top. The little totem there, like, brings them back, and then once all the ads are killed, the boss comes out. Once you actually start aggroing him, I'll do my rotation. Screwed up that rotation a little bit, I panicked. What matters is the completion. I'll try not to die, obviously, but if it happens, it happens. Sometimes there's a few chests over there, too, or heavy sacks in that case. And then the middle is progression, but we have to beat the first like 4 bosses before that. Technically, there's a skip if you ran this way behind a little house and then came out from the other side, but it's fine. Everything. Most people don't know that if you drop a standard with the passives you have, it gives you resources back. And that was like an emergency drop. Otherwise, I definitely would not have done it there. Also, since I'm just not gonna, no excuses, I'm bad. My health is extremely low for this. Work. Actually, let me see.
How can I help you?
I'm gonna switch up one piece right here. I'm using 7 medium, which is maximum damage, but if I wanted to have slightly higher health, I could do that as well. So realistically, I don't think it's gonna make so much of a difference, but just the extra armor. One thing I noticed is I do actually have to play this a little bit more carefully, and I'm just sorking it up with infinite shields. Sometimes there's a heavy sack or something back here. It's very rarely. This isn't a real boss. I would save my ult unless it's an emergency. This one, if anything, might give me the most trouble. Sometimes there's a heavy sack behind there too.
I will harvest your soul for the dead ones.
It's not standing fire. I think this is probably one of everyone's hated bosses in this dungeon. Usually I wouldn't be running out of stam, but I have to block everything now. Alright, let me regen a little bit more stam, and then we should be good. Going in. It's hard to keep up all your dots on this area specifically. Like with the Stamina Sorcerer, you just have instant healing with your Hurricane and your Crit Surge going up at all times. And then magic, any magic pretty much has infinite shields. All I have is vigor. Actually, is there anything I could slot that would help me? Probably Green Dragon's Blood as well, but that's like a Magicka skill and I can only use it once for like 20%. Could have a Steel Tornado if I wanted to for AoE, but I don't know what I'd replace. This is why, remember, so I made a video earlier a couple weeks ago about my Dragon Knight build, and there's a reason why I have my CP in certain ways. This is why. Before I start, I should probably get more stamina back. Actually, we're just going in. On bet, that would have been a one shot, I guarantee you. Sometimes it's a heavy stack, or yeah, heavy stack over there. Sometimes there's like chests randomly behind the garden or wherever the thingy. Can't be bothered. Alright, so let me see. How am I going to do this? I'm probably just going to burn the boss. I don't care about the ads. Unless it gets overwhelming. Just run out of all my dots.
Rise, minion.
In Vet, I usually try to position myself facing all the ads, simply because it's easier to dodge roll it. So like, if you're behind him, versus when you can see the ads, versus if I'm on the other side. A little bit easier. It's not really game changing.
Rise, minions. It's too late.
When you're on fire, you can jump into water. That's just like the mechanics of it. If you're on fire and you're burning, jump into water, cleanse it. And obviously, if your DPS is just as bad as mine, you could probably kill the ads. So anyway, that has been the first episode. That was definitely more of a struggle than when I ran it on my Sork, because Sork is, in my opinion, like a brain dead class. You just play and shield and you win. But I still like my Sork, even if it's easy mode. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the first episode. If you did, be sure to drop a quick like on the video. If you didn't, give it a dislike and let me know how I can improve it in the future. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the series, and I will see you guys next time.